conditions, medical treatment, surgical treatment, diagnosis by radiology, various laboratory tests that are done at Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, it can be considered as state of the art. No other hospital can match how they're applying the latest available treatments and technologies for the benefit of the patients who require that help. But on the other hand, one must salute Swami's blessings on this, that it renders top-class treatment to the patients who come there, not just for heart, but bones, joints, kidneys, brain, etc. All disciplines are well covered.
Dr. C Venkata S Ram is a global authority on hypertension and was awarded Padma Shri by the Government of India for his yeoman contribution in this field in 2013. He is currently the director of Apollo Institute for Blood Pressure Management, Hyderabad, as well as Professor of Medicine, UT Southwestern Medical School in Dallas, USA. He was in Prasanthi Nilayam as one of the distinguished speakers for the Sri Sathya Sai Global Cardiovascular Conference in September 2025.
Sai Ram, my humble pranams to Bhagawan Sathya Sai Baba. I was a small young boy growing up in Hyderabad. Swami used to come to Hyderabad to some devotees' homes for Satsang or for darshan. Not many people at that time. My elder brother was Swami's devotee and disciple. He used to go to Swami's satsangs and darshan in Hyderabad, and he used to take me as a younger brother. So he used to basically take me, and I was very young. So I saw Swami first time in late 50s, 59, 60, 61 in that time. I saw him many times during his visits to Hyderabad, but I was a small child, so my impression of Swami was not the way we know Swami now. My impression of Swami at that time as a young child was a saint. Saints who come into town and meet people. But maybe I was small, nor did I think broadly. I did not view Swami as Bhagawan at that time. Afterwards, of course, I was very small. I was going to school, I was going to college, I was going to medical college. Then I went abroad for a number of years, more than 30, 35 years. I trained in America and established myself as a specialist in high blood pressure in America by Swami's grace. So during this long period after that childhood, I really did not have that many close contact with Swami in a physical sense. But even when I was in US, my wife used to come to Puttaparthi for service activities and for volunteer activities. And she was also bringing our small children, 2 girls, along with her during their summer holidays to be in Puttaparthi on and off, but usually during their summer vacation. But I was not coming with them because I was working. But on 2 or 3 occasions, I did come along with them. So my family re-established me to Swami's fold. Not that I left Swami's fold, but I was kind of, to be honest, preoccupied with career development, family, etc. But during the family itself, then because of my family's involvement with Puttaparthi and children going to Balavikas in US, so I brought me back under Swami's umbrella again. And since then, of course, coming to Puttaparthi at least a year, then I came back to India to work in a hospital in Hyderabad, and we do come periodically to Puttaparthi, and I have had a privilege and fortune of seeing Swami during this period of time. And then I also, as a medical person, I was involved in Swami's health projects, hospitals, both general hospital, as well as the Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences. I saw it being built, but the foundation was laid. I saw various stages of its development in Puttaparthi as well as in Whitefield. And I was not here when the hospital was open, but I saw many of the video recordings when the hospital was open. After the hospital was open, I had come from US to Puttaparthi and also to Satsang Institute of Higher Medical Sciences to do some teaching to the young doctors there on cardiovascular disease, how to diagnose, etc. In fact, one of the persons with whom I had interaction at that time, Dr. Iyer in cardiology, he's still a senior consultant in cardiology. I saw him this morning. So my connection to the Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences happened during the time when the director was Dr. Sathya. And I do have occasional dialogue with people who work with Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, either through email or through phone conversations. When the hospital was in the building stages, first floor has come, etc., not open, but still under construction, Swami gave darshan in the morning to the devotees. And as the darshan was ending, there was a rumor or a talk that Swami was going to go to the hospital to see it while it is under construction. He was planning to go there immediately after this. So the word spread among devotees, and some of them from Prasanthi Nilayam, they went to Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences. Me and my wife also went there. By the time we went there, many other devotees were already assembled there because Swami was actually in the hospital at that time. He was on the first floor, and then people were on the ground floor, and the Sevadal people said the Swami is on the first floor, but he is going to come down soon. So the devotees waited. There is one lift. There are actually two lifts. And in front of one lift, a lot of people had gathered because Swami was going to come down that lift from the first floor to the ground floor. And many devotees wanted to have his darshan and had to have a glimpse of him. They were assembled in front of this lift. Myself and my wife, we were proceeding toward that lift. However, the Sevadal volunteer said, there are too many people, sir. Can you be at that location? And he pointed towards the other lift where nobody was there. So Swami was expected to come down the lift on the other side, and I was sitting here. And suddenly the lift doors where I was sitting open, and Swami came through this lift, not the one that people were expecting, but the other lift where he was not expected to come. And immediately I took Swami's Pada Namaskar, and he proceeded to the other side, and then he blessed the devotees. So this was a very unusual thing that I recall, where we were directed by the Sevadal to not to overcrowd that, to go be there and have a distant glimpse of Swami. But instead of that, just reverse happened. We happened to be there when Swami's door opened, and we had darshan.
How do you feel being in Prasanthi and being part of this conference, and your reflections on World Heart Day being celebrated in Prasanthi?
Yeah, this will, as it has been mentioned by Sri Ratnakar Garu, Dr. Mohan, and also Dr. Krishna Rao. This is the first time the World Heart Federation is recognizing the World Heart Day in India. I would not call it celebrating, because we don't celebrate somebody who has got heart ailment, but let us say recognition of the World Heart Day to increase the awareness of the heart disease. The very fact that the World Heart Federation has chosen India, and that to Puttaparthi as the place to acknowledge the importance of heart disease and World Heart Day is nothing but Swami's blessing. This is not happening in the usual major cities, metropolitan cities in India, where there's a lot of publicity, a lot of television stations, a lot of newspapers would cover this. But this is happening in Swami's physical abode of Puttaparthi, recognition by World Heart Day to know the importance of heart disease through this site in Swami's physical abode. It's a wonderful conference. A lot of important faculty, lot of talented people are speaking, and very good audience, very good delegates. Under Swami's guidance and direction, ultimately the beneficiaries of this conference will be our citizens who will take preventive steps in order to avoid heart disease as a result of the proceedings of this conference. It's a very unique conference, and ultimately the society will benefit, but all due to the hands of Swami that is directing towards prevention and hopefully elimination of heart disease at some time in the future.
If you look at our hospital, the super specialty hospital, the shape of it is like two arms, embracing. It's like a heart which is embracing people. And for 30 years now, the hospital has been doing this yeoman service. And you are someone who has worked in so many hospitals. You have seen many hospitals in India and abroad. So when you reflect on what is going on here vis-a-vis what you have seen elsewhere, and when you look at what needs to be done for the world, what thoughts come to you, sir?
Yeah, of course. This wonderful question is best answered by the full-time director and joint directors, heads of departments of the Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences over here. But I will respond as a visitor, not as an internal part of the institute, but as an external visitor. Everyone knows that there's no charge to the patient, that is well known. But what should be known is it is the state-of-the-art hospital for all conditions, medical treatment, surgical treatment, diagnosis by radiology, various laboratory tests that are done at Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences. It can be considered as state-of-the-art. No other hospital can match how they're applying the latest available treatments and technologies for the benefit of the patients who require that help. So it's a charitable hospital, no expense hospital, but on the other hand, one must salute Swami's blessings on this, that it renders top-class treatment to the patients who come there, not just for heart, but bones, joints, kidneys, brain, etc. All disciplines are well covered. So when you come to this hospital, you don't need any other second opinion. You don't need any third opinion. This hospital, to put it in a layman's language, it is the Supreme Court for medical care. This is where it ends.
If you look at the theme of this conference, it is Hari, Vari and Kari. And Bhagawan has been advising, Bhagawan has been guiding doctors and the devotees and the public at large about all of this. And in fact, when you think of it, he started, cardiology was the first departments that he started way back in 1991. And Swami wanted that people should take values into their life. He wanted spiritual values to be inculcated. He wanted this dimension of spirituality to be there in the treatment of medicine. What are your perspectives on this?
At the present time, many scientists who are also doing fundamental basic research where evidence is required are acknowledging, despite so many advances in the treatment and diagnosis, spirituality plays an important, subtle role. for patients to get better from this illness, to heal faster from their surgery. As it has been suggested by Swami's quotation that was mentioned earlier, many, many times he has said that one should not really stress yourself as if life is a game of speed. We're not in a game of speed where everything has to be done in a hurry. So Swami's principle was do things calmly without getting hurried unnecessarily. There are situations in which you have to hurry to take care of something, but one should not hurry without a valid reason. There should be some reason. Worry comes to all of us, no matter what, irrespective of the socio-economic status, irrespective of the educational status, irrespective of your background. Worry is part of life. But Swami's teachings are our approach to worry, our attitude to worry has to be a little bit more composed and not to react to the worry with more worry. So that is the reason why the theme of this conference about hurry and worry to be controlled. And of course, diet has to be balanced. That is the reason why Swami used the word curry. Curry means not really curry in that sense, but don't overindulge in eating calories that you don't require. So don't put on so much of food on you which you don't require. So the theme of this conference is really very philosophical, very spiritual, very medical, very technological, and most importantly, very much evidence-based.
This is the 100th birthday year of Bhagawan, and there are so many celebrations going on. And this conference also is part of the centenary celebrations. What are your thoughts on the centenary celebrations, the 100th birthday of Baba? What would you like to say on this occasion?
Swami's avatar is designated as 100th year, but the legacy is beyond 100 years. It has already been a legacy since Swami's transition from his physical status, but his soul, his spirituality, and his heart is beating all the time, everywhere. So we call it 100 years based upon his date of birth, but the impact, the influence, and the legacy is perpetual. It is not limited by space. It is not limited by time. It is not limited by birthdays. It will go on forever, like the sky, like the earth, like the water. They are perpetual part of the nature. So is Swami. He is perpetual, not limited by 100 years. 100 years is, we are marking 100 years because 100 years of anything is very important. 50 years, 75, 100 years, we are marking it. But it doesn't stop here. It continues for the times that will be permanent, everlasting, and enduring.
How does it feel for you to be in Prasanthi Nilayam?
As your question implies, as you use the word Prasanthi, it is true Shanti. I myself go through important challenges or situations in professional life from which you cannot escape, by the way. You cannot escape. That's part of life. By coming to the physical abode of Swami, Prasanthi Nilayam, it truly gives a sense of peace, a sense of mental tranquility, a sense of love. And you completely forget what is beyond the compound wall of this Swami's physical abode. So coming to Prasanthi Nilayam is like refueling of the energy tank, refueling of the spirituality, and then we return back to our respective professions with greater vigor, greater confidence, and greater love for the humanity at large. Sai Ram.